This is the moment that so many have been waiting for. Here is the 2026 Audi RS3 Competition Limited. Rumors have been circulating for quite a while now that Audi was working on a limited edition RS3 to mark the 50 years of the 5-cylinder engine. Many thought we would get an RS3 GT with quite a significant power increase and weight loss. That's not what this car is about at all, and it will surprise quite many. Is it really a worthy celebration edition for the 5 decades of this iconic engine from the 4 rings? We will have to find out. So, let us do this. Welcome to Auditography. I have been a photo and videographer for the brand for over 20 years. I am a collector of some very unique 4-ringed icons myself, and I have also made the viral movie Speak Up for Audi. That led me to even meet the CEO, and many people high up in the company are my friends. The 4 rings is my lifestyle. Join me here in this new emotional video. The iconic 5-cylinder engine from Audi has been around since 1976. We've gotten some absolutely amazing cars throughout that time with magnificent and iconic sounds. It's one of the things that Audi was always so admired for. It became their identity. So when this RS3 Competition Limited is presented, a lot of weight is resting on its shoulders. It has to be an all-out effort from the 4 rings, and they have to go crazy, right? Well, one might think so, but the reality is different. The name Competition Limited has never been used at Audi. We've seen the performance versions and also the competition RS4/5, which were also limited runs. So it's a bit strange to add limited in the name. And of course the question everybody asks, what's the power upgrade? None. Yes, you heard it right. It's not April Fool's. Not one single extra horsepower more is given to this limited edition. This RS3 has the same horsepower as the 8V facelift RS3 from 2016. That's 10 years ago. I know the team behind this car personally, and I know they did everything they possibly could to increase the power, but just as with the RS4 and RS5 competition and the RS6 GT, they were not allowed to by the people in charge. I'm not going to go more in on that because I did so already in my long Speak Up for Audi film. This limited edition RS3 comes in both sedan and sportback and is going to be made in 750 units only. The RS3 Competition Limited has the iconic 2.5-liter 5-cylinder TFSI engine that pumps out 400 horses and 500 Nm of torque, which is the same as the normal RS3. It sprints from 0 to 100 km per hour in 3.8 seconds and tops out at 290. I know that the lack of extra power will disappoint so many, but when the engineers were not allowed to put more power, they did everything they could in other areas. One of them is a coil-over suspension with a new rear stabiliser delivering sharper handling together with the torque splitter and standard ceramic brakes. The suspension was specifically developed for this model. Twin-tube dampers use stainless steel at the front and aluminum at the rear for greater stiffness, while larger fluid volumes and external reservoirs in the front improve cooling and ensure consistent performance under high loads. At the rear, larger damper tubes and thicker piston rods increase rigidity. The system offers 3-way adjustable dampers, allowing separate adjustment of low-speed compression, high-speed compression, and rebound. The driver himself can fine-tune the setup to suit their driving style and road conditions with adjustment tools and a setup manual included. And now let's talk about the sound. The RS Sports exhaust system with fully variable flap control increases the exhaust sound. Audi has also reduced the insulation at the firewall, which allows more engine sound into the cabin. The valves open earlier as well in dynamic, RS Performance and RS Torque rear modes, which makes the exhaust note even more pronounced. Unfortunately, this RS3 is castrated by Audi's constant use of soft limiter when revving at standstill. It sounds good, but it could have been so much better. Have a listen. it comes to the exterior design, the first thing I saw, just as with the new RS5, is the return of the classic RS font on the badges. And gone is the terrible new font that nobody liked. And even more, just as in the RS6 GT, you get the iconic Audi Sport colors in the badges as well. This shows that Audi engineers with passion were working on this car. And yes, the front badge is missing the 3. I was told that they couldn't add it there for now because of the pedestrian crash safety regulations, and the full RS3 badge will come back when they redesign the grille a bit. For now, we have to be happy that it's there, cause remember, the facelifted RS3 8 got so much criticism for no front badge at all. The RS3 Competition Limited will be available in 3 colors: Daytona Grey, Glacier White Matte, and the special Malachite Green that was used in the original Sport Quattro from 1983. It also features matte carbon fiber optics with, for the first time on an RS3, additional canards and extended lip in the front bumper. The 10-spoke 19-inch wheels are painted in Neodymium gold. The RS3 has also darkened matrix LED headlights which illuminate in a 1-2-4-5-3 pattern as a nod to the 5-cylinder firing order. Moving on to the interior, you can directly see some significant colors for this edition. A mix of black, neodymium gold, and ginger white is all over the cabin. The grippy bucket seats are exclusively done for this edition and look gorgeous. The RS3 Competition Limited logos can be seen on several places in the interior, as well as a matte serial number in front of the shifter to see which exact car you got in the limited numbering. As much as I love the color combination and the seats, I really was hoping that they finally are going to get rid of this atrocious steering wheel that have caused so much criticism and upset from so many. Unfortunately, it still is here in this car and I have nothing positive to say about this wheel. It looks terrible and cheap with an airbag cover designed by a 5-year-old that put the Audi logo there on a sticker. The annoying haptic buttons on it sure aren't helping either. Bring the proper buttons back and please go back to high quality Audi steering wheels as you've done for decades. I guess quite many of us were still hoping for a bit better and bigger gear shifter than the nibbler here. But nope, it's still here and removes so much of the driving feel. Other than those things, the interior is a lovely place to be, especially with the perfect mix of screens and physical buttons. The 2026 Audi RS3 Competition Limited is a celebration of 50 years with the 5-cylinder, an engine that is engraved in so many Audi people's hearts. So when we really put it all out there, is this version enough? Basically an RS3 with a better suspension, some canards and different colors? And add a juicy starting price of 100,000 euros to that. We all know how capable this engine is, and Audi has showed it several times what they can do, if they are given free hands. Something to point out is that almost at the same time, a group of enterprising apprentices at Audi have created their own version of what they see as a tribute to the 50 years of the 5-cylinder. It's called the GT50 concept, and now that is a real jaw-dropping car right there with proper heritage cues to the past. Just imagine the hype if Audi actually made a car like that. For me personally, the RS3 Competition Limited just doesn't justify the historic impact that this engine has had. We were all waiting for at least a 450 to 500 horsepower, lower weight monster that could give some competitors a run for their money. It would always be remembered as one of those times that Audi shocked us all. I know that the team that has been working on this car wanted so much more. But this is what they were given to work with, and I respect them so much for still pulling it off like they did and not giving up. So it's still unique that this car became reality. So from me to you, thank you. The real question is, were the decision makers not able to give us more power, or they just did not want to, preparing for an electric and emotionless future where they forgot their true legacy and history of what made them great? I think it's the second option, and that scares the heck out of me. Thank you. for watching.